That was too cold. Welcome back to a fantabulous episode of Two Drunk Guys in a Football Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus the Hammer Mary.
And I'm your co-host, other host, whatever host you want to call, Skinny Domestic. We have a good, dude. First of all, we have a good episode. We are filming this a day earlier than normal, due to some scheduling conflicts. So if we miss some news or some things change, we apologize ahead of the time, because I have a scrimmage tomorrow for basketball, and Marcus is going to go watch some college girls wrestling. So,
yep, I'm a big college girls wrestling fan.
yeah.
What was last week? Last week was 26th.
Yeah, last week was the 26th. Or 28th was the episode. So we would have filmed on the 27th.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
So, nothing crazy with this episode. News, previous week. College football playoffs are heating up now. We got championship week this week. Bad betting. Just kind of talk about fantasy. We have some, last week of fantasy for most leagues until playoffs. So, you got a lot of playoff implications, things like that going on. Some college football talk in terms of what we're thinking there. Heisman talk, anything like that. Some NFL award situations because of poor play and injuries. And then lastly, of course, our pick'ems. So, Marcus, why don't you get us started with our news?
Lions linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez. I don't know if people remember him from HBO series Hard Knocks, but kind of a stud. Kind of came out there and played really well for him. I was out with the season with an ACL tear after Thanksgiving's game, which sucks for them. That's kind of a big part. But that defense is kind of taking two big hits now with Aiden Hutchinson and Malcolm Rodriguez, who are both kind of cornerstones for the team.
The long-haired white dude, Alazzoni, or whatever his last name is. He's
Anzalone.
Out. Yeah, he's out too. So
Alex Anzalone, yeah. Kind of weird news, but Cardinals signed James Conner to a 2-year, $19 million contract. That's legit money for James Conner, who is 31 years old?
Yeah, he's older. And the fact that you drafted Trey Benson, sorry. Trey Benson. Yeah. Let me correct myself. Thinking Trey Benson would be the future, and I guess maybe you implement that. You keep a solid guy like James Conner, who even if Trey Benson does take over next year or year two, but that's still a lot of money to be paying a guy if you're thinking he's going to be an RB2. That's more than DeAndre Swift's making. So
yeah, decent money. He's had a good year, and he stayed more healthy than he usually does this year.
Yes,
which sucks because people are counting on Trey Benson to come in there and light it up. Mm-hmm. Austin Eckler is on injury reserve right now. He's out for at least 4 weeks with a concussion. He did die on Thursday, so that sucks.
Shouldn't have happened either. The Cowboys on that kickoff should have just taken a knee instead of returning it for a touchdown. Slide, get the offense out there for a snap, take a knee, game's over. But instead, you put the Commanders back out there with hopes, and he dies.
Yeah. Chargers, J.K. Dobbins on injury reserve after an MCL sprain suffered on Monday night.
It was bound to happen.
It sucks, but he's a good player. But
it was bound to happen. He's had injuries every year of his career. It was bound to happen. He's been see that's where the comeback player of the year implications come into play, Because I think J.K. Dobbins was probably top 3 on that list, and
He wasn't far, that's for sure.
was
He was playing
definitely
really well, and
definitely pushing to make a case to be comeback player of the year. I can tell you that, especially with being on a winning Chargers team, unlike some of those other people that are probably leading the way.
yeah. So sucks. Um, that's about all I had. Trevor Lawrence is questionable, so he wasn't put on injured reserve after dying.
Yeah,
That's
he's
kind of crazy.
well. With that, is that all the news you had?
Yeah,
Okay. So like with that one, they suspended Aziz Al-Shire for
yeah,
3 games.
for
He's appealing it.
yeah.
Everybody's talking about how it was a malicious hit.
I
Quarterbacks,
don't.
quarterbacks. If you're gonna slide, slide early. Stop waiting until basic when well, people want to judge it. Oh, he had time to let up. He had this in the middle of a game. You're taught to go tackle somebody that's running the ball. Go tackle the ball in a half a second split decision on. He's already lowering himself. Maybe he's not projecting to him yet, but you're lowering yourself to put yourself in that situation to go make a tackle. It's in that half a second to a second split decision. It's not like guys like that could just not do it. And
Well,
everybody's
it
like,
can put the defender at risk too, because
yeah,
if the defender pulls off and tries to like hurdle them or do something, they could hurt themselves trying to protect the quarterback.
well, and then
Now,
everybody's like,
granted,
oh, he didn't need to do the forearm. It's like, I think the best solution to that tackle was him throwing the forearm. Because if he doesn't throw the forearm, he's getting
shoulder
Trevor
pads
Lawrence is
or
getting a
helmet.
shoulder pad or a helmet to his
Yeah.
head, neck area. I think he appeals it. I think he might win the appeal and get it down to like 1 game because in the video, if you watch it closer, he hits more of here area than up here area. The whiplash
Well,
and
what happened?
concussion,
Yeah.
yeah, is from the hit and coming back so hard in the ground. I don't think the hit itself was hard. It's the impact to the ground that was super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be something that the NFL needs to look into on changing for quarterback slides. Either you're if you run, you're a runner, and if you don't want to get hit, you either slide super early or take a hit
Go
like
out
a
of bounds.
man, which you don't want your quarterbacks to be doing anyway. But something that like the letting up system. Patty Mahomes just had 2 kind of big runs because he's running out of bounds. He's right tiptoeing at the sideline, and as a defender, if you hit him and he takes that step out, you're risking a penalty, or because you're expecting them just to go out when they're starting to tiptoe. So
Yeah.
it's not something that's going to be changed, but or fixed
No.
anytime soon. But yeah, quarterbacks slide earlier. I know you're fighting for the yards, but that's all Trevor Lawrence was doing was he wanted that extra 1 yard before he slid so he could get the first down. With the injuries to the Lions, they have signed Quan Alexander at linebacker, and then they did also sign Jamal Adams, which that's kind of interesting because Jamal Adams could play linebacker for him because he was that safety line, like he could do it. I mean, if he
Yeah.
really needed it, he could probably do it.
He was never a pass defender. He was always a run stopping safety.
Yeah,
So
could
he
come in and
wasn't there.
play some
Yeah.
linebacker if you needed it. You're gonna love this one. The Commanders waive Emmanuel Forbes Jr. finally, and then he was picked up by the Rams, but Mr. 160 pound, 65 pound DB finally got.
I was wrong about Kadarius Toney, but I was right about Emmanuel Forbes. They waived him 2 years after he got drafted.
First
That's
round.
insane.
Drafted first round. Keep in mind.
That's insane.
Ahead
The
of
Vikings
guys.
kept Laquan Treadwell all 4 years.
Ahead of guys like Christian Gonzalez, which is a stud for New England. So we'll see what he does. He's got to bulk up if he expects anything in this league. Another news for the Jags. They signed their left tackle Walker Little to a 3-year, $45 million extension, $26 million guaranteed. Left tackle's needed. You got to protect your quarterback. can't do anything when he scrambles out of the pocket. At that point, his protection's over with. But if he's giving you consistency, you might as well do it. CMC's out with a PCL, so
That was terrible, man.
hey, all I know is Melton still won that trade in fantasy because he still got something out of it.
I'm sure Milton's players, yeah, probably scored. CMC being here for 2-3 weeks probably scored what 60 extra points more than anyone else on that fucking team with what he got.
Yeah,
Jonathan Brooks says your dad got zero out of that. Zilch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what was the wide receivers? If you look at it, yeah, it's probably Milton still won that trade. Taysom Hill is out with a season-ending knee injury, which dude only played like eight games, I think, in total, and was tight end 12 because of his big games. He was
killing it.
He was on pace to continue to get there and kill it, the tight end position. Bears fire Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
That was needed. That clock management was terrible. 33 seconds. You have one timeout left. You don't snap the ball. Some of it's on Caleb Williams too, clearly, but 33 seconds, and you don't snap the ball until 7 seconds left on the game clock.
Well, and you had a timeout.
Yeah, exactly. You have a timeout. If one, Caleb Williams needs to be more urgent and get his people moving, but at the same time, if I'm Eberflus, you have to be the one. I know you don't want to take it, but you need to take it. If once that thing hit 20, you got to take it. You got to.
Bust, baby, bust.
And then lastly, one thing that is kind of shocking is the Ravens trade for Deontay Johnson. Guess how many plays he played against the Eagles?
1.
0.
Really?
Didn't take a single snap for the Ravens.
I hate that trade so much, and I told everyone it was a bad trade. They haven't done shit to him, dude. Why did they ruin Deontay Johnson? He doesn't want to play there. That's probably why.
Why would you trade for him? And the other one too is weird to me is they were down. Besides the first quarter, they were down after that. You know, they come in, they have to throw the ball. We're stopping the run pretty well. Got to throw the ball, and you're not putting in one of the better wide receivers in the league, and just as a pass catcher for you, doesn't make any sense to me. We'll see what happens there. It's crazy. How do you trade for a guy and not use him? NFL scores, just have 3 here. Eagles defeat the Ravens 24-19. Justin Tucker, is he done? Like, dude, it's ever since that Chiefs video, what was it, last year, I think, or the year before? Ever since him warming up right next to the Chiefs sideline, area pre-game, he has not been the same. Like, I was reading this thing where he's just missed so many kicks since that issue happened. It's like a Chiefs curse. You just don't mess with the Chiefs and you'll be fine.
It reminds me of Adam Vinatieri. Couple last seasons for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just was like money, and then he started getting a little weaker. He just wasn't who he was, and kind of fallen off. And it's been what 3-4 years since he nailed that 65-yarder.
Yeah,
maybe 5. I mean,
I want to say 3. Yeah, 3 or 4 sounds about right. Yeah,
it's been a while.
It'll be interesting to see what they do, because it's hard to let a guy that you've had like that for so long go. But if he's going to continue to, in a sense, lose you games because he missed field goals and extra points and stuff, you kind of have to reevaluate and assess what you're going to do moving forward. Steelers, this was a high scoring game. Steelers 44, Bengals 38. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, the Steelers are looking like the second best AFC team, if not the best.
And George Pickens got kicked out of the game, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct.
The first one of those, he didn't even do this. He did it like at an angle, and other players do it like that. Like Josh Allen does it, never gets flagged for it. It doesn't make any sense. somebody somebody was like, somebody did the one's like, "Can I marry your daughter?" and the other one's like, "Call the cops." Somebody's trying to rob us. Type, like comment about it. Yeah, George Pickens is something else, but
Dude, he is.
I
George
love the.
Pickens is like probably like less good Antonio Brown talent wise. Like he's so talented, he can do all the things. But dude is insane.
It's like the. It's like the Andre Johnson Titans fight, and it's like it's a picture of that, and the meme is fuck. I overspilled my beer. Fuck. It's a picture of that, and it says, "Oh, run play for 2 yards," and then it's Deontay Johnson 25 yards downfield. It's like beating the shit out of somebody. He just finds his way to get into little altercations, and it's kind of a smart tactic. You get in some dudes' heads and fuck with them, and they play worse. But
he's always
can't get kicked out of games though. But you won, so we'll.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Bengals, dude, they're just so sad to see. All that offensive talent, defense is so bad.
I don't want to talk about the Bengals and Chase Brown, dude. It breaks my heart.
Chargers 17, Falcons 13. Kirk Cousins threw 4 picks.
Yeah, fuck you, Kirk. Yeah, dude. Well, see, here's the thing. My cousin was pissed at me because we were watching the Vikings and Cardinals game, and like I was watching it, and I obviously love my Vikings, but I also don't give a crap because I know that we don't have Daniel Jones to lose to, but we're gonna lose to like I don't know who's a team that will probably skin to the playoffs that shouldn't, that has a terrible quarterback. We'll probably lose to. I don't know. They all have good quarterbacks.
Yeah, like every NFC team has a good quarterback. And
we're gonna lose to Geno Smith in the first round of the playoffs because that's just kind of how the Vikings roll. So, but I was sitting there watching that game because I had a lot of fantasy implications in that game, and he was getting so pissed off at me. But I had it on my lap and I was watching it. Dude, they suck. That game sucked so bad.
Kyle Pitts had 2 targets.
Bijan Robinson was the only bright spot on that whole game. Really, honestly,
Drake London had a couple like insane catches, like very impressive catches. But yeah,
Cameron Dicker and Bijan Robinson were the stars of the show, really.
Yeah, and then of course the Chargers defense with 4 picks because Kirk Cousins doing Kirk Cousins things. And then this week, of course, after this terrible play, he plays the Vikings and is gonna have a shootout of 5 touchdowns and 275 passing yards because the defense.
That's
I don't know. Something stupid is gonna happen. And then lastly, Vikings pull it off 23-22 versus the Cardinals. You were at that game. How was the environment? How stressed out were you during that time? And I imagine you sat next to Alonzo too.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Alonzo sat away from us. We didn't plan it together. My cousin got addicted. Yeah, we just all went there. So it was a good time in Minnesota. Had a good time with my cousin and Alonzo, and saw some people from work. Scott Bain, Arabian Hammer was there. So he came by and saw us in the hotel. So we had a good time. Went to the game, and I didn't, like I told you, like I cared, but I was like, well, if we lose, we lose. I was telling him I'd rather win a fantasy championship than the Vikings win a Super Bowl, and he's like, what? He's like, how? I'd rather have my team win. I said, because I don't have any stakes. It's not like I get paid to fucking watch a winning team. I was like, I get paid to win fantasy championships, baby. But anyway, we were sitting there, and there's these guys behind heckling him. And they were pretty obnoxious. It was kind of funny though, but they were just like the guy was like sitting there screwing. That's another Vikings first down. And then what else is he saying? He's like Sammy good pocket, Sammy scrambles, Sammy touchdown, Sammy like this, and saying that stuff. And then he was just yelling. He was singing the Vikings fight song, and he was just so obnoxious. And they had to have been pounding beers, man.
Oh,
They
probably.
had to have been pounding beers, and they were talking shit to my cousin. They're like, oh come on, Kyler, that's not how you get a first down and stuff like that. And Dylan was getting pissed. Then he started laughing. Well, then they were beating our ass. And I remember sitting there looking at Dylan. I was like, we need to put in or Daniel Jones, dude. It's Danny Dimes time, baby. Fuck what's his face, because Sam Darnold always does that shit where he plays really well, the stats are really good, but you just don't have the confidence in him.
Yeah.
But even I had the confidence in Kirk, you know what I mean? For the most part, once he dropped back, you're like, anything can happen. Sam Darnold, you're like, when's he gonna throw a pick and fuck it up for everyone? But we were down by like 2 possessions going into the fourth quarter, and they started saying, "Put in Daniel Jones, let's get in Danny Dimes," and just we're being obnoxious. Well, then we started coming back. JJ started making his plays, looking like the best receiver in the league, and JJ saved so many picks. I don't know if you watched that game.
A little
He
bit.
kept coming back. He kept coming back to the ball because Sam Darnold was throwing reckless footballs, man. And he ended
He's like,
up,
fuck it, he's up there. He's out there somewhere.
yeah, ended up went and grabbed it, and I don't know, it was a good game. And then they shook Dylan's hand at the end. Well, I guess Alonzo, while he was walking, that he was taking a piss after the game, and some black dude looked at him, saw he had a Cardinals, he had his Pat Tillman jersey on. He said, "Go fuck yourself." And then the guy next to Alonzo at the Pistons he's like, "What was that about?" He's like, "That was really aggressive." And Alonzo's like, "Yeah, I know."
He saw Alonzo's wiener and was like, wow, that's a big wiener. And
Yeah, he's like the biggest. Yeah, I don't know.
I
It was
love
a good game.
I love game environments. You always get those type of fuckers.
Dude, there's so many bad people though there.
pretty
It was
much
ridiculous.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. It looked like you guys had a good time. How was
That's
Hell's
fun.
Kitchen? Was it worth the hype?
It wasn't the real Hell's Kitchen. We got lied to. We've been bamboozled.
Well, we were talking about it was like tears and stuff.
No, it's a knockoff thing.
Oh.
Some hipster bar. I was like, Minnesota, I hate you.
Oh, it's a hipster
But
bar.
it
That's
was
funny.
okay. It was okay, dude. We were so drunk. Well, I wasn't so drunk, but there were people in our party that were so drunk once we got there.
Yeah.
And that guy was probably like, "What the fuck?" It was cold, dude. It was so damn cold outside too. Like we walked 7 minutes because we didn't drive anywhere. Our faces were like freaking beet red.
You couldn't Uber like 2 minutes? Just pay the $10 to Uber? Save your...
Well, it was only a 7 minute walk. We might as well walk
Fuck no, not in the cold. Fuck that. Fuck that.
to the game. It was better because we went to the sky lift or the sky
Yeah, that's smart.
walk for. So,
Yeah, well, one of these days I'll get to a game again.
yeah,
Having
yeah,
kids.
they're all right.
Having
It kind of
kids.
sucks.
Having kids gets that implications.
I got a niece of my own.
Well, yeah.
Rough living.
Moving into the college football world, we had some upsets. Iowa State, Iowa, their games. So number 18, Iowa State defeats number 24, Kansas State, 29-21.
I thought they were gonna lose it.
Yeah, they keep allowing too many big plays over the top, but their defense locked it down, and if they even think they have a chance against ASU, they have to stop the big plays from the get-go.
Yeah.
Just from the get-go. But they did what they needed to do. They needed to win to make the Big 12 championship, so they did it. We have a chance to potentially make the college football playoffs if you win it and are a higher seed than some of those other guys. So we'll see what happens. Like, one of the things I think is you hope that Clemson. See, I don't know, because if Clemson beats,
Are they going to be in the Big?
yeah,
in the
they're
Big Ten?
no Big 12. They're in the Big 12 championship game this weekend.
Oh, so if they win the Big 12, then they will be automatically in. Right?
Potentially, so it's the top four get the 4, and then it's the highest seeding conference winner. So like Boise State is if they win, they'd be a higher seed conference winner because they're 10, and then
Oh, they're in the Big Ten.
no, because they're 10th, they're ranked 10th, and then Iowa State would be ranked probably like 12 or 13 if they beat Arizona State, while like SMU for the ACC is ranked 9, and Clemson's ranked, I think, right behind Iowa State, or maybe right in front of Iowa State. So if they beat a 9 ranked team, Clemson's probably going to shoot up higher than and stay in front of Iowa State. So really, the only way for like Iowa State to make it realistically in like a realistic form would to be like have Clemson win and our Clemson win and hope that like Boise State loses. Just hope that Boise State loses. Like that's the biggest one. Just hope Boise State gets a loss in the conference championship. Arizona State has the easiest path just because they're currently ranked the first in their higher ranking, but you got to hope that Boise State loses.
Yeah.
Michigan upsets number 2 Ohio State 13-10. That game was insane. That game was a rivalry
I
game.
took Michigan, didn't I, or no?
No, because it wasn't 2 ranked teams. We didn't.
Damn it, dude. But I had Michigan.
That game ended in rivalry week. A lot of what teams do is if you upset a team or you even beat the team just because it's a rivalry, they take like a flag or like Arizona State has like their pitchfork, and they go plant it in the middle of the field, or like there's like typically some type of middle of the field logo thing, like how Baker used to do the Oklahoma O, and Michigan went and did that, and Ohio State players came, and there was a straight up brawl. It got to the point where the security officers and police that were all there were pepper spraying people to get them to separate. So,
like fans or players?
Players. Like there was dudes linking arms with other people, pepper sprayed, can't see anything, like getting guided by people that could see to the locker rooms because they got pepper sprayed. Like it was.
I'm watching it right now,
dude. It was a insane brawl. Couple brawls happened this weekend, but that Ohio State Michigan one was pretty intense. I remember the game ended and the camera just zooms out and it's just watching everything go down. Nobody's saying a single word, and it's just filming it happening.
Dude, that's crazy. They're getting at it too.
Yeah.
Helmets are being knocked out. People are going to the floor.
Yep.
What do you think they do to those teams, man?
I'm envisioning the NCAA is going to envision some fines, and then some players might get suspended if you can figure out who did it. But good luck.
Yeah, that's wild.
Number 15 South Carolina upsets number 12 Clemson 17-14, which annoys me because Clemson's in the ACC championship game, even with that loss, because they're in the ACC championship game over. They're 9-3. Miami's 10-2, but 2 of Miami losses are in the conference, while Clemson only has one in the conference. So they get in over. Yeah. That's like one of the things that I hate about the conference record, subseeding your overall record sometimes, because you get that happening.
That matters.
But that's why you have conferences.
So Miami has 0 chance of making it into college football playoffs?
I think they can make it, but they need a lot to happen. They would need like a miracle, which is probably not going to happen. 3 Texas defeats number 20 Texas A&M. Nothing really about that game. Memphis upsets number 17 Tulane 34-24. This is a big one because Tulane was ranked 17. Iowa State and Arizona State are like 15 and 17 or 18 last week. Tulane potentially was another one that if they won their conference and were ranked higher than the Big 12, they could have potentially been in. So that helped a little bit with Memphis upsetting them. And then Iowa defeats Nebraska 13-10. Fuck Nebraska. Um,
Nah, dude.
Game wasn't that
Nah, dude.
great to watch. I ended up turning it off for a little bit because it was garbage. Bad betting. We're currently 29-23 on the season. We went 1-3 last week, but we're still up on the season, about 280 of a 310 area, depending on how you have done your bets. This week we're looking to bounce back. We're going to take the Bills minus 4.5 versus the Rams. We're going to take the Bengals minus 5.5 versus the Cowboys. The Cardinals minus 2.5 versus the Seahawks. And then we're going to take the Falcons plus 5.5 versus the Vikings. If you wanted to parlay all four of those together, $10 pays about 122. Odds are subject to change. It is only Tuesday. Players are questionable, get hurt, anything, aren't playing. Clearly, some of that is probably going to be impacted. But we gotta live with it because we're making the decision on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So big news, we're in the last week of regular season of fantasy football. Marcus is currently 0-6 against me in regular season games this year, which is crazy.
Insane.
Um, we play again this week in his league, and that's the one league.
Of course, this is the time that Skinny needs a win, and
I need a win. I need a win, and
I've clinched the first round bye, and I'm number one in that league. Going into
so
it,
he could just be a pal, and not collude with me in any way, shape, or form, but just be a pal, and he's got the first round bye. He's gonna rest his players to give them that 2-week break, that they need to just relax.
No. Here's the thing: if I make it so Skinny can't make it to the playoffs in my league, that'd make me happy. That'd be if I was 7-1, that would be worth all the six other or 1-6. That'd be worth all the other six losses.
It's the only I've clinched the playoffs in every league but this one. So right now I'm in 3 playoffs, and I'll get second or third in every single one of them. Beside, and because that's just how it goes for me. I have to win this week. So
Dynasty, I'm officially out of the playoffs. Not that I was trying for the playoffs anyway, but
yeah, either I win this week, or I hope that all 3 people behind me all lose, which I don't think is realistic. But what's crazy to me is in our Dynasty League, the top 6 are already set. Everybody's clinched. There's no nobody's playing for anything this week besides maybe order, I guess.
Yeah.
And then my league, you're fighting for a playoff spot.
My team took up a downward turn, man.
Yeah, 3 straight losses.
So good. 7 straight losses or 7 straight wins, and then or 6 or 7 straight wins, and then go into this. It sucks.
Yeah, you're
We'll see what happens.
Currently the 6th seed, tied with one guy, and then one person's behind you one game. So, yeah, you really need to win this week in our league, but you also play a guy that's number 2 in the league and stuff. So you could very well
miss the play. Well, if I lose and I score more points than Skylar, if I score,
Rudy can still get in somehow. So
Rudy, I think, would have to have. I don't think. Well, I have the tiebreaker against Rudy, so it doesn't matter. Well, it'd have to be something with Skylar. He'd have to score more points with Skylar if he beat Skylar or something.
Yeah, but Skylar's. So you, Skylar, and Rudy all still are playoff eligible.
If maybe he beats Skylar, and it'll come down to point. Rudy doesn't have more points than you, though, does he?
He has 4 less points than you do. So I'm wondering if because maybe he beat Skylar, you beat Skylar, or you beat him, but he beat Skylar, and did Skylar beat you?
We tied.
Okay.
So it comes down to points.
You didn't tie. You guys don't have a tie in that league.
Yeah, we went 1-1.
Oh, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Well,
we split it?
Did he beat you the most recent time?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If we do that, it comes down to points.
Okay, so
That's
then
why I'm
that's
still ahead
probably
of him.
why then. Even though
Yeah.
you beat Rudy, Rudy could still get in because of that
So if
three-way.
we both lose and he wins, maybe I don't know,
Yeah,
and
so
scores
that's what
more
I'm
points.
assuming is if you and Skylar both lose and he wins, and then he scores more points than you by 4 this week, so 5, let's say 5 more points than you, then I'm
Maybe it's
assuming he would
Kate.
be
Let
in.
me look because there's no
No,
way.
Kate's 8-5, so Rudy can't surpass her.
But she still hasn't clinched.
Yeah, but she hasn't clinched because if she loses, you or Skylar both could be 8-5 and might be going over her.
If we well,
Well, if you win,
oh oh yeah, if she loses, I could be 8 and would I be 8-5 or I'd
you
be 8-6.
6. If she loses, she'd be 8-6, and if Skylar wins,
So if
she'd
she
be
loses, yeah, so if she loses, I could be over her
yeah.
because I have more points. Let me look at Rudy's matchups. So
It says she has a 99% chance to be in, so I'm
she
assuming
has
that
the easy.
she's.
She plays Trey, so she's an
Oh,
easy.
okay. Yeah, this fantasy will be interesting to see how this goes. And then I'm
What's
trying to play for at least the 1 seed. I have to win this week in hope that everybody in front of
so
me
you
loses.
play Rudy.
Yeah,
He played
which
Skylar. But you know what? I made it into that. I don't think he played Skylar. Oh, he lost to Skylar. So now I don't know how Rudy can be in there. It doesn't even make any sense because Rudy, there's no way he should be eliminated. Because I have better points than Rudy. I beat Rudy. He beat Rudy. There's no way Rudy could be. I don't know how Rudy could get in. That really doesn't make any sense. But remember, I made it to the playoffs with a 1%
playoff
chance.
seeding tiebreakers head-to-head record.
Then it goes to points.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how ESPN does it, but I don't change anything. I just go based off that. It'll be interesting. Week 14 is the fun time. I just need to somehow beat you this week and go 7-0 in the regular season against you, which is fucking crazy. First of all, it's not going to happen though. There's no way that I do that. There's no fucking way. This is like week 12 when I beat you in my league. We both kind of were like, I was down bad more than you were down bad in terms of like key players, but
I knew it was going to
I
happen.
think it was projected to be a little bit closer than like current projection right now. I think you're projected almost like 20 points to beat me by. So like I'm not. I think there's no way. There's no fucking way. My team's not that good. I don't have Jaden Daniels. That's the other one too. Is I got to roll with Matthew Stafford. So,
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
but
Fucking
fantasy.
fantasy.
I guess we'll find out next week and see how I'm feeling and how you're feeling. And
Dynasties, I'm just going for Genty in every league.
yeah, we're doing the toilet bowl in our dynasty. So you realize I'm gonna fucking hate every goddamn week of it because every single one of you fucks is gonna set the worst fucking possible lineups you could set to try to
Yeah.
fucking lose and get the number 1 pick. And it's gonna next year I'm implementing a rule that you can't tank. But I'm also kind of like, if we do the punishment like we said we were gonna do, people might not be as inclined to tank.
Well, this is the year 2 tank because the only good player in that draft. I mean, there'll be good players, but like, there's only one star. Like, you don't
Like if
have
you
another.
if you get pick number 5 or 6, you're
It's
not
gonna be
really
shit.
getting you're not going to be getting as good a value as what you'd be getting at least.
You might
1,
as
2,
well
3.
trade back.
Yeah.
If I was going to be a mid pack, that's why I started. That's why I was like, I've had so many injuries. I'll just re up my team for next year. That's why I started backing off my team, though.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
like,
get it. I want things to be competitive. Like I understand for
it
like,
will be though. It is. I mean, it was most of the
who's
year.
going
But
to
yeah,
score negative points this week? That's the biggest. Like if we had a fucking defense in that league, somebody would be going and picking up the Panthers defense like shit like
Yeah.
that. I think the biggest
Yeah.
one is we don't have the I wonder We don't have a rule in terms of that you have to have a full roster, but I think that might be a rule that we need to look into because I think, and
You
at
have to
least,
start everyone.
yeah, I think in Sleeper you can put people on your bench and not play people, even though
Oh, I didn't have to play anyone last week.
you didn't play a single person.
No, I did. I
Oh,
played some, and then Skylar was going to project to beat me, so then I took out like a guy to fuck with him, and
yeah.
then
See,
he's
I
like, "You
think
can't
that's
even
one
beat me
thing that
anymore."
you have to have at least a full roster. Like if you forget to change somebody out, I get it. Like like
Yeah,
whatever. But if you're purposely taking out like
a
your whole
player so you can
lineup,
lose.
type shit, yeah, that's. I wanted to be competitive. I don't want this stupid bullshit.
Uh,
I just
it's dynasty though.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing too. Is I'm also like I get it, but in real life, if you purposely tank and are found to purposely tank, you get fined. So you get punished for it. So, like
Our fine's going to be spankings, dude.
no, it's gonna
Spanking
be
first game.
you do the punishment if you get last. So I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Because if you're really willing to tank and get the first pick, you will get punished still. So I
Yeah.
guess I feel like that's just a fair thing. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, and then my next thing that we were talking that's kind of been discussed is um, comeback player of the year. I thought Kirk was going to be the lock. The Falcons are playing like shit. He's playing like shit. You got Joe Burrow, who their team record isn't good, but he's leading the league in passing yards and touchdowns with only 5 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins was in the running, and now he's hurt. Jameis Winston currently is 2-2. He's not doing anything phenomenal, and he wasn't he wasn't really missing for injury. But as much as we love Jameis, I just
You
don't
don't
think.
have to necessarily miss for injury, do
Yeah,
you?
but they after the DeMar Hamlin thing, they basically are making it a. They didn't say it that it was that you had to be injured, but they were implementing like basically that you had to be injured to be qualified to win it in a sense. Like
Should be fake one.
yeah, and really, if you want to talk about the turnaround, yeah, but like, and like the other one too is like Joe Burrow played 10 games last season. Like, why would we let him? He missed 7 games. You played half of the season, and
No, you're right. It should be Justin Jefferson, dude. JJ wins everything,
I mean,
every award.
really, if Joe Burrow's eligible to potentially win it, why wouldn't Justin Jefferson be?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think right now Joe Burrow probably is going to win it, just because he's not going to get the MVP, and
He should get the MVP because he's played like an MVP.
yeah, he's putting the stats that he's putting up. I think he'll end up, unless Kirk wins the division at this rate, which I mean he still could. I think he's tied with the Bucks. They're both 6-6. Unless he wins the division, I think Joe Burrow might be able to snag it at this point.
Yeah.
And I thought J.K. Dobbins could have come in and snag it, but then he got injured and he'll miss 4 games. So we'll be into last 2 weeks of the season. So at that point, it's going to be the decision's going to almost already be made up. At that point, I don't know. The one thing that I want to see the NFL do with awards, though, is do most improved player, like the NBA does. I know it would be harder to judge with certain things. Maybe not make it like as big of an award as some of these other awards, but just recognize one person that just like they were a practice squad player last year and then now a Pro Bowler or like shit like that. Like that would be interesting to see if you. I don't know. There's got to be ways to track it of some sort.
Yeah.
Somehow. All right. Do you have anything else? Otherwise, we'll just move on to our pick'ems and.
Should pick him.
All right. So
You have to
like I
track
mentioned,
mine again. I'm sorry.
of course. Like I said, this is conference championship week for the college football. They released their rankings. 10-3 Bama's currently in and most likely going to be in, and it's bullshit. They're the 11th seed. Fucking stupid. You have 3 losses. Get the fuck out of there. I don't give a shit. You lost to 5-5, and like you just 2 subpar teams. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Let like a BYU in there. Get Arizona State has 3 top 25 wins. Iowa State has top 25 wins. Like, one of these is gonna these two teams are gonna play. One of them's gonna win and potentially make it, and the other one's not gonna see it. While
Who's number one right now?
number one's Oregon.
Oh, Oregon's number
So
one.
here, I'll read it off real quick. So right now, the projected bracket is Oregon 1, Texas 2, assuming Texas beats Georgia, and Oregon beats Penn State. SMU 3, assuming they beat Clemson. Boise State 4, assuming they beat whoever the fuck they're playing. Nobody gives a shit. 5 is Penn State. 6 is Notre Dame. Which, again, these... Like, Notre Dame lost to NIU first game of the season and doesn't have a conference game, so they benefit from not having a conference game because they potentially can't lose it, you know?
Yeah.
Georgia's 5. Or, sorry. Penn State's 5. Notre Dame's 6. Georgia's 7. Ohio State's 8. Tennessee's 9. Indiana's 10. And then Bama's 11, which, yeah, Indiana's at 10, and they lost to Ohio State. Leave them in. But, you know, they're one of the teams that they're not playing in a championship either. And they get the benefit of the doubt, while these other teams that have to play in championship games potentially don't see it because they get that loss. And then, of course, Arizona State's 12, because that's just, yeah. But this week, we'll do, there's Mountain West, the American Athletic. I just did the teams that showed up in the top 25. Last week I went 3-1, Brooke went 3-1, and you went 1-3, because you did the opposite of everything we did. I'm currently 32-20. You're 26-25. So let's stay above 500 this week, Marcus. Let's finish the season out. Well, I guess we have like other like the playoffs and stuff that we'll probably.
I just know the NFL, Skinny. I'm the NFL guru this
So the first game we have is the Mountain West. We have number 20 UNLV versus number 10 Boise State. Boise State's favored by 4.
Give me Boise State.
I'm taking UNLV just because I hope they beat them. Get the fucking Boise State Genty hype. Get it the fuck out. I'm tired of it. Sorry. I did some research, and people are talking about how like we've never seen this done before, and you know Genty's this phenomenal running back and all this shit, and I made a point up that Rashad Penny ran for 2,200 yards and 23 touchdowns on less attempts than Genty did on a 10-3 South Dakota State team, who were also in the Mountain West. He was 5th in Heisman voting in 2017, and he was behind Saquon, who had a full 1,000 yards less than what Rashad Penny had run for. Nobody gives.
So South Dakota State was in.
Or not South Dakota. San Diego State. Sorry, San Diego State.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah. So we're overhyping this guy, putting up all his yards because he plays in a fucking terrible conference, in a weak conference. Their average position rank was 85, even with Boise State being in the top 10 and stuff throughout the season. You know, top 20, now they're 10, I guess. I don't give a shit about the yards. I don't give a shit about the touchdowns. It's what competition are you doing it against?
I don't know.
If you're getting 5th in Heisman voting to 5th in Heisman voting and putting up numbers like that, it's because you played in a conference that nobody cares about. And that's what Boise State is doing. They should not be top 10. I don't care.
He's not going to win. He's not going to win the Heisman anyway.
Yeah, he shouldn't. Travis Hunter.
I
see the case for Travis Hunter because he plays both ways of the ball, but Cam Ward rightfully deserves it. That's just me. Miami is not the same team. without Cam Ward. So that's just me. Um, Next one is the American Athletic Championship. We have number 24 Army versus Tulane. Tulane is favored by 5.
Give me Tulane.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tulane too. Then we have the Big 12 Championship. We have number 16 Iowa State versus number 15 Arizona State. Arizona State is favored by 2.
Give me Arizona State.
I hate you. I'm taking Iowa State because I stay loyal and true. Big Ten Championship game. We have 3 Penn State versus number 1 Oregon. Oregon is favored by 3.5.
Give me Penn State.
I'm taking Oregon. I don't trust Penn State. SEC Championship. Number 5 Georgia versus number 2 Texas. Texas is favored by 2.5.
Give me Georgia.
Last time they met, Georgia destroyed them. But I'm going to take Texas this time. I think Texas has looked better. The Bulldogs have looked probably have been playing like some of their worst football I've seen. Give me Texas. And then lastly, the ACC. We have number 17 Clemson versus 8 SMU. SMU is favored by 2.5.
Me. Clemson isn't the same Clemson it used to be, but give me Clemson.
I'm gonna take SMU. I respect that though. I should take Clemson solely because I kind of want them to beat SMU to have SMU drop, and then hopes that the Big 12 can get in there better and higher rated. Also with
Remember when Clemson was the next football dynasty, college football dynasty?
Yeah,
that didn't last very long.
True. And then lastly, the NFL pick'ems. Last week I went 10-6. Marcus, you went 13-3. Brooke went 12-4. I'm currently, my overall record is currently 123-82. Your overall record is 138-67. So right now you're on pace to keep it under 100. I think total misses, which I think last year we either were close to that. I'll have to go back and look.
I think I started sucking it towards the end.
Well, those also are the weeks where people start not playing people and shit like that. But this week we got Thursday night. We have the Fudge Packers at the Detroit Lions.
Give me Detroit. Don't even ask questions.
Damn, Detroit gets back-to-back Thursday night games. Or Thursday day, but still.
Yeah.
You want the Lions?
Yeah, by far the Lions.
Okay. I am also taking the Lions. Then Sunday, December 8th. Oh, December 5th is also Ben's birthday. Shout out Ben if you're listening. Sunday, December 8th. December 8th is the day that Courtney and I started dating back in 2017.
Shout out Courtney.
But we don't honor that. We just based off our marriage now. Like, we've been together since 2017, but everything's anniversary wise is marriage now. That dating stuff don't count no more.
Didn't happen.
Well, it happened, but just all right. Sunday we have Jacksonville at the Tennessee Titans.
We don't know what's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones is ass. Give me the Titans.
Yeah,
they've been playing a lot better lately.
I'm going to take the Titans. I'm going to assume that Trevor Lawrence is not going to play. And again, we're doing this 2 days after the event happened, so we have no idea. Sunday, December 8th. I guess I don't need to keep saying that. We have the New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Both games are ass. Or both teams are ass.
I don't want to pick this one because it's like either one wins. You're just going to look at it and you're going to be okay. What if I say tie? What if they tie? Do I get like 10 extra points and pick'ems or what?
They're not going to tie, so.
I would say. Give me the Jets, I guess. I don't want that, but
I'm taking the Jets too. I still have faith. It's like that. They're like the one team that I just can't let go this year. Like
You just
you have to switch it around at some point. I know you're out of the playoff contention, but you have to start playing better football. It's
Skinny
gotta
just
happen.
can't quit you. He
It's
just
gotta
can't quit
happen.
you.
I
You're
want to
good.
see just one good game, and I'll have a little bit more faith. You have so much talent on both sides of the ball, and you're just ass. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm gonna take the Vikings.
I'm
They
taking
just find a way to win.
yeah. I'm just gonna take the Falcons just because after that last week's performance, I just feel like again the Falcons have to do something, and it's Kirk's revenge game. Kirk can't throw 4 picks in a revenge game, so and it's not.
Kirk's revenge game. It should be Minnesota Vikings revenge game because Kirk fucked us over.
No, no,
It's
no.
Minnesota's revenge game on Kirk
Kirk's
Cousins because he fucked us over.
Kirk's revenge game. Then we have the New Orleans Saints at the New York Giants.
Give me the Saints.
Fuck. See, this was hard for me. Dexter Lawrence is hurt and out, so that defense does take a hit. Drew Lock looked like ass, but I'm gonna take the Giants.
Okay.
Take the Giants. We have the Carolina Panthers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Give me the Eagles, but Bryce Young's better than Jalen Hurts. That's what I heard.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, he's been playing really well. Bryce Young has turned it around.
I've noticed, I said it a couple weeks ago, after you either get injured or you got benched, you came back and played way better than you were. Anthony Richardson's playing better. Will Levis has been playing better.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's now playing better. There's another quarterback, too, that either got injured or something and came back and has been playing better. Oh, so it's like a common
Trevor
thing.
Lawrence.
Yeah, not Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he was playing better until he got hurt again a little bit. We have a division matchup here. Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I feel like the Steelers can't lose them both, so give me the Steelers.
Yeah, dude, the Steelers, this is going to be a tough time for the Steelers. They got starting not this week, but the week after, they have 3 games in 10 days because of how the schedule is. This was next week. That's terrible. The NFL hates the Steelers. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Give me the Bucks.
I'm going to take the Bucks too. Pulled off a little tight one with the Panthers. The Panthers have been better in fighting, but gave the Chiefs the run for their money, gave the Bucks the run for their money. Now they're going to give the Eagles the run for their money. It worries me because they're just like right there to just start winning some of those games, and it worries. Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the Cardinals.
I will take the Cardinals too. Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams.
Buffalo.
Yeah, dude, Buffalo's hot, looking good. Did you see the fucking pass to Amari Cooper? Amari Cooper starting to get tackled, flipped it to Josh Allen shit.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. I did not realize that.
I don't understand why that counts as a passing and rushing touchdown. That's so stupid.
There must be some type of thing. Like, I guess the only logic I can think of it is because, or it's not a passing and rushing, it's a passing and receiving. But the only logic I can think of is because.
So he got 10 points just off touchdowns of it.
Yeah. He had 6 for receiving. Yeah.
That makes no sense.
The only logic I can think of it is if you're a quarterback and throw a pass and you catch your own pass, you get a reception.
Yeah, but he didn't catch his pass. What was it? Not Amari Cooper's possession long enough?
No, he got the catch, but when you throw a pass, somebody throws the pass and somebody receives the pass and puts it in the end zone. So it has to be credited somewhere. And who was the person to put it in the end zone? It was Josh Allen.
Has that never happened with the quarterback before, though?
Must not. I guess another one would be like, okay, let's say Josh Allen throws the pass, Amari Cooper fumbles it, and Josh Allen picks it up and scores a touchdown.
Yeah, but he wouldn't get a receiving and throwing touchdown off of that.
I think he.
Passing and receiving, no, because he fumbled it. That doesn't make any sense. Because the ball is down there, and then he picks it up and scores it. I don't understand. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I guess I understand because the ball carrier, like, if he would throw it to Jameer Gibbs pitches it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, then Amon-Ra St. Brown catches or takes it into the end zone. That is a passing touchdown, so it makes sense, but it's still goofy.
Yeah,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it's just weird because there's not multiple. Yeah,
he just doesn't get a catch with it because he didn't catch the ball. He caught a left
and whatever yards come. I guess I'd have to look. Did he get credited for receiving yards, or does he just get credited? I guess I didn't look at that. I'll have to look at that. Then Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers.
Give me the Niners. Fuck the Bears.
Give me Chicago. They almost beat the Lions, dude. And the Lions, I would say, probably the hottest team in the NFL. You're down Jordan Mason and CMC. Fred Warner might even be out now because he officially did fractured ankle or whatever. Is probably finally catching up to him. That snow game did not help, but give me the Bears. Chargers at Kansas City for Sunday Night Football.
Give me Patty Mahomes, baby.
I'm taking the Chargers. I shouldn't, but
you like to hate yourself. I'm starting Justin Herbert again, even though he fucked me last week, and probably is going to kick me out of the playoffs in your league because he scored 7 fucking points against a shitty fucking.
The Chiefs are just the issue I have is the Chiefs. Every game are beatable. They look so beatable, and if there's a time for the Chargers to finally beat the Chiefs, it's now. So yeah, give me the Chargers. And then lastly, Monday night we have Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas Cowboys.
Give me the Bongles.
All right.
You taking the Bengals as well?
Yeah. Let me just make sure I have the right amount of games. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Yeah, I am also going to take the Bengals. I always forget that I sometimes don't make my pick live. But yeah, give me Cincy. And then yeah, with that, good episode. I guess catch us next week and we'll see what happens with our fantasy wise, and
we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I could still get the 1 seed in my league, hopefully.
Yeah, you have to win because if you don't win, Brookie has a tiebreaker over you. And if she wins,
right now I would need both Austins and Brooke to lose this week for me to get the 1 seed, but it's probably not one of them is going to win. So if I could at least get the 2 seed, maybe 2 of them lose, and I can get the 2 seed.
Maybe I can help you with that, Skinny.
If you beat Austin, beat Austin, that would help me a little bit. I just need to get a win for sure, and then actually no, I'd prefer you help me in your league. Just get me in the playoffs.
Fuck you.
That's what I really need. I need to beat you in your league somehow.
I just want to make the playoffs in your league so I can keep the streak alive. I don't really care if I win it this year.
7.
If I do, I'd be happy.
7 straight seasons for me, at least, as of right now.
We'll see if I can keep.
You could be 7 too if you can get in. So
we'll see. It will be. I mean, it's up to me, but I have a hard matchup. I'm not like playing like Trey or your dad. So.
Yeah. Well, the other one too is 7 straight seasons in the playoffs is not easy. And
no, it's a long time.
We both kind of had it rough, but like. Recently, I feel like
last 3 years
it has been super. Like you're barely getting in. So, but that's what it is. You got to be the underdogs. You got to be the New York Giants to win rings, and that's my problem. Is
I'd rather be that. Yeah,
I haven't been the New York Giants. I've been the Buffalo Bills. nails and looking all shiny and shit, and then just not doing it. So, but thanks for staying tuned, guys. Enjoy. Again, we're filming this a day earlier, so if anything's released between now and Wednesday and stuff, we're not going to pick it up.
Like and subscribe. Buy your moose beard oil.
Yeah, buy the moose beard oil. Yeah, that 30% sale ends today. So today, as of filming, the 3rd, not the 5th when this is released. But cheers. Follow us on all that good stuff.
Like and subscribe. Go.